You are listening to Arirang Radio's Wonders of Jeju. This is the segment where we tell you about the lives of people living right here on the island. I'm your host, AK. This is Humans of Jeju. On Humans of Jeju, we introduce Jeju people who are living in many ways. And we got Jay in the studio to introduce another Humans of Jeju. All right. Hello,
yes,
Jay.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
You are with a red cap on today.
I didn't forget my hat today. Yes.
But actually, I forgot.
I know. We're not clicking
I was planning,
yet.
right?
Hey, we need that
planning
time.
too.
We need that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's really hectic, today because of my exam. And yeah, I was thinking that, I should pick my cap, up at home. But I totally forgot.
I totally understand that feeling. Yes.
Right?
When you got something on your mind, you forget one thing and then you come out and then you're like, I forgot that and that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you've also had a hard time, but you got your hat on today.
Oh, yes. Yeah, like you're mentioning, yes. The week was very long for me as well. But it was very interesting week. I got to participate in this event where the young artists come. They call it GYCR. And it was very interesting because we had a lot of famous artists, architectures, they came and gave lectures to this young artist.
Yeah.
Many of the young artists who participated. It was a great event, but overall for me,
over for you.
I had to do some interpreting works, which I apologize. Yes, if they are listening, I want to apologize again. Yes, it was very difficult. All the expressions are.
I mean, did you have to work for the artist or other people?
Basically, it was interpreting the lectures that the famous artists were giving, and they were explaining about the works that they do and some of the creations that they created. But to be honest, I did not understand the word that they were saying, and it was a terrible job by an interpreter. And
yeah, I mean, guys, as for interpreter, not everybody can interpret everything, right?
Yes, and I found that out the hard way. Yes, it was a very.
But you did.
Well, I got through it. You got through it. Yes, I got through
all
it.
the hard jobs, right?
So I've been happy with it.
Okay, I'm happy for you that you survived.
Well, congratulations on your exams as well.
Oh
yes.
yeah, congratulate me. Okay, thank you. I mean, yeah, we are waiting for this weekends, right?
Oh yes, I am so waiting for this weekend. I'm not doing anything this weekend, but just laying down.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say a word this weekend. So that's what I'm planning on.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about the humans of Jeju today. So who are you going to introduce us?
Yes. Let's listen to today's human of Jeju.
All right.
저는 고산에 살고 있는 이제 김임생 해녀입니다. 예. 이제 해녀 하는 것이 이제 한 35년 이제 됐는데 이제 지금까지 계속 이제 지금은 나이가 이제 71인데 지금까지 이제 하고 있어요. 예.
Can you introduce?
Yes. So today's human of Jeju is a haenyeo, a female diver who lives in the Gosan-ri village of Hangyeong-myeon area. As she mentioned, this is the 35th year of her being as a haenyeo, and currently at the age of 71, she's still active doing water work, working as a haenyeo.
Wow. I mean, it's been a while since we've heard about haenyeo actually. On Humans of Jeju, I mean, how did she become haenyeo?
So why don't we listen to that first?
Okay.
처음에는 초등학생 때 바닷물을 막 좋아해가지고 이제 친구들이랑 이제 바다에 헤엄치다 보니까 이제 초등학교 또 끝나고 다시 이제 이제 또 해녀를 이제 좀 하고 싶어서 조금 하다가 이제 그때는 우리 시절에는 사는 것이 굉장히 어려웠어. 이제 학교도 제대로 하지도 못하고 이제 남의 집에 품팔이 이제 일하러 다니다가 이제 나이가 조금 드니까 이제 결혼을도 일찍 하고 결혼을 했는데 결혼해서도 이제 사는 것이 너무 힘드니까 이제 남의 밀감 떼러 갔다가 이제 이런 밭에 이제 검질 매러 갔다가 이제 그렇게 계속 하다가 이제는 옛날 했던 이제 해녀를 한번 해보고 싶다 해니 이제 36세부터 이제 또 하기 시작했거든 해녀를. 그래가지고 이제 지금까지 하는 거.
All right, what she said.
Yes, so she mentioned since she was in elementary school, she's been fond of the seawater. Back then, she enjoyed swimming and playing in the sea with her friends.
Yeah.
And after graduating from elementary school, she mentioned she worked briefly as a haenyeo. One thing you have to keep in mind is this is long ago in the past. You know, in her young days, she mentioned it was extremely difficult making a living. So after elementary school, she couldn't continue on her education, and she worked in other people's houses. She got married when she was a little over 20, but even after marriage, making a living for the family wasn't easy. So she used to go to other people's houses to pick tangerines or work in the fields every day. But eventually, she had a longing to return to the work of haenyeo, as she did in the past. And when she was around 36 years old, that's when she started her lifelong career as a haenyeo.
So if it was when she was in elementary school, that means that she first experienced the work of haenyeo around 60 years ago. Wow. I mean, that's quite a long time ago. I mean, I suppose growing up in a seaside village, she naturally developed a love for swimming.
Oh, you're right. And she mentioned she was a type of a child who would right away after school rush to the sea with her friends and immediately jump into the sea. She also said she used to collect sea products under the water with them as well. But back then, she never thought that this would become her lifelong job. It was just something she enjoyed. So she wanted to actually continue her education, but at the time in Jeju, it was difficult for girls to pursue education.
Yeah, that's true.
But she did also mention it was also a challenging time for everyone, regardless of gender, as people struggled to make a living. So after completing elementary school, she worked as a haenyeo for a while to earn money. After some time, she also started doing jobs at other people's homes as well. And as time passed by, when she grew up to be a respectable lady, she got married. But still, her financial situation didn't improve, and she continued working, sometimes in the fields and sometimes picking tangerines in other people's farms. Then one day, she suddenly remembered her haenyeo days and decided she wanted to do it again. So she officially became a haenyeo at the age of 36 and has been doing it ever since.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it's quite later than I thought.
Yeah. Some people started much earlier, right?
She must have grown up in a very challenging environment on Jeju Island during her youth. And given the limited opportunities for making a living on the island, I guess becoming a haenyeo might have been something inevitable for her.
Yes, and the sea became the most important part of her life, she said. She mentioned she usually spends about half of the month in the sea. Also on days when she doesn't go to the sea, she still works in the fields as well. And she said that constantly working like this can be exhausting, but surprisingly, she also said going to the sea washes away all her fatigues and she feels rejuvenated. So meeting her fellow haenyeos, both the older and younger ones, and going to the sea together makes her incredibly happy, and said she releases all the stress from home in the sea. So according to her, her mood greatly improves when she goes to the sea, and the sea is filled with laughter. Moreover, catching abalones and collecting various sea products from the sea brings her immense joy.
Okay.
So haenyeo usually refer to the sea product they collect from the sea as items. And she said finding and obtaining these items in the sea not only brings her, but all haenyeos a sense of accomplishment.
I mean, that makes sense. It's being able to find fulfillment while working that make being haenyeo even more appealing. And as everyone knows, haenyeos dive into the sea with nothing, no equipment to help them breathe underwater, just their own bodies to collect items, right? Which is why they need to hold their breath. And how do you manage to hold their breath for so long?
So she said that anyone can become an expert at something after doing it for a long time, like more than 10 years. So how about we hear from her first about how she manages to hold her breath under the water.
Great.
숨비 소리는 우리가 이제 바닷가에 가면 이제 물건을 보이잖아. 물건 보이면 이제 그거 이제 막 이제 주다 보면은 이제 숨이 이제 다 돼가지고 이제 그 숨이 멈추려 그래. 그럴 때 이제 올라와가지고 지치면은 그런 이제 숨비 소리. 지치면은 이제 그 소리를 하면은 좀 이제 그 숨 가쁜 게 좀 이제 좀 한가하거든.
So can you explain?
Yes, so the haenyeos have their own secret technique, and that's what they call 숨비소리, which means the sound of breath.
Yeah.
When haenyeos find something underwater, they hold their breath and dive in to collect it. In reality, for beginner haenyeos, being underwater for a long period of time can be dangerous, as they sometimes get too eager to collect items, not realizing that they are running out of breath. However, experienced and skilled haenyeos can sense how much longer they can hold their breath, and they only stay underwater for that exact amount of time to collect the items before resurfacing. Then, to recover from their exhausted bodies, they make the 숨비소리, the sound of breath. And you can find videos of haenyeos making these sounds on the internet. It's not always the same, but in the videos I've seen, it sometimes sounds like a whistle or even like the sound of the dolphins that, they make.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it is. It is.
I mean, I'd love to hear it myself. I mean, the 숨비소리, the sound of breath, has such like beautiful name actually, right? I mean, I watched a video where, they dipped their head while inhaling, almost resembling dolphins. And so I was curious and looked it up and found that 숨비 means diving. For haenyeos, 숨비 truly seems like a word that signifies life. So today we are introducing Im-saeng, Haenyeo, who has been collecting underwater items in Gosan-ri village of Jeju Hangyeong-myeon area for 35 years. And let's continue our conversation.
Yes, so we asked her what advice she would give to aspiring haenyeos who have dreams of becoming a haenyeo. And I like to share her response. So let's listen first.
Okay.
우리 시대 끝나면은 그 해녀들이 이제 없어질까봐 그것이 좀 아쉬워. 이제 우리 이제 후배들을 이제 그런 물질하는 거를 이제 물건을 많이 잡든 못하든 그런 해녀분들이 있어야 되는데 우리 뒤를 이제 이어갈 아이들이 없어. 이제는 다 자기 나름대로 지금은 이제 학교들 이제 하고 나니까 이제 자기들 직장하고 이제 그런데 이제 저 직장 다니고 이제 자기 이제 주어진 그 일들만 하정하지 해녀 좀 해보겠다 하는 아이들은 하나도 없지. 우리 시대 끝나면은 이제 해녀 그 대를 이제 끊어질까봐 그것도 좀 아쉽고 우리 후배들이 좀 있으시면 좋거라. 경은디 후배들이 없어.
So can you tell us?
Yes, so her response was not so much advice for the aspiring haenyos, but rather a concern for their future. She mentioned that we need haenyos to continue on the tradition, whether or not there are items or sea products to collect underwater. However, in reality, there are actually no such aspiring haenyos anymore. Nowadays, everyone goes to school and finds jobs, so no one comes wanting to become a haenyeo.
Yeah.
So she expressed her sadness at the possibility of the haenyeo tradition coming to an end with their generation, and she really hopes for the emergence of haenyeo successors.
I mean, for foreigner, when thinking about Jeju, they often associate the island with haenyos. But it's truly sad to think that the tradition might come to an end after her generation.
Right.
And nevertheless, I've heard that elderly haenyos continue diving until they can go no longer. So typically when do haenyos do 물질, the work of collecting items, see products underwater?
So usually they collect items from early October until May of the following year. Even during the harsh winter, they work. And when May comes, it's the season when conches lay eggs. So they begin the conch gathering prohibition period. So no one is allowed to collect them underwater.
Yeah.
So for 1 month after May, haenyos enter their resting period. Afterward, around late June, they start collecting sea urchins, which continues until the end of July. After that, they stop collecting sea urchins because it's the seasons when sea urchins also lay their eggs. Then after a 3 to 4 months break, the season for collecting conches begins again. That's how they spend their year of working as haenyeo.
Right. I mean, nowadays it seems that haenyos don't just collect items. They also sing, dance, and showcase various talents.
Yes,
and
they
how about
do.
Haenyeo Im-saeng, today's Humans of Jeju? Is there any other role that she plays?
So actually, she's a renowned chef in the Gosan-ri village. Yes, getting hungry again.
Yes.
She's skilled at preparing various dishes, including sashimi and conch dishes. We showed pictures as well.
Oh my gosh.
So using the seafood she collects, her reputation spread nationwide. And a few years ago, she also appeared on the Korean TV show called 한국인의 밥상, the Korean food, hosted by a longtime famous actor, Chae-buram.
Yeah, Chae-buram.
Yes, and they showcased her cooking. Since then, she has received direct calls from the actor Chae-buram himself because her dishes left the lasting impression on him. And recently, famous entrepreneur and food researcher Baek Jong-hwan, very famous, also visited her and tried her cooking and even suggested opening a restaurant chain based on her dishes.
Wow, but you said like reputation spread nationwide, but not worldwide.
Maybe later on it could be worldwide. Yes, we're not sure yet.
I mean, she must have exceptional like culinary skills. I'm really curious now. I have to find 한국인의 밥상, the Korean food. I mean, watch it.
Yes, and after being broadcasted on TV, her cooking reputation now goes beyond the Gosan-ri village and is known around the nation. But she's not only known for her culinary skills, but also for being a talented singer, a singer of 노동요, meaning work songs, that haenyeos sing while working.
What? So the songs that they sing on the work day. Okay, I know the song, the Seowoojesori song, right?
Yes, yes.
I mean, I'd love to hear it.
Yes, so we asked her, and normally she said they need other haenyeo colleagues to sing the chorus to get in the mood. But just for our listeners, she sang it herself.
That's beautiful.
So shall we listen to it?
어양 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 어기 서우제 소리로 놀고 나가자 아양 어양 어용 할로 산으로 들어간 보난 저 산 나피 절로 배기고 아양 어양 어용 산으로 가면 산신이 놀고 바당으로 가면 요왕이 논다 아양 어양 어용 우리 어멍 날날 적에 영화를 보려고 날랐건만은 아양 어양 어용 영화는 간 곳이 없고 천심팔저가 기박도영 아양 어양 어용.
Wow, I mean, do they sing this way? I mean, all together?
Yes, what a song break, right?
Song break, right?
Okay. Yes, so she sang up to this point for us, and due to the COVID-19 pandemic, she hasn't performed for a long time. So she did mention that she sometimes forgets the lyrics, but you couldn't tell at all the way she was singing. And nevertheless, she sang it beautifully, but she got emotional singing and stopped in the middle.
Oh my Lord.
Because if we were to interpret the lyrics in her songs, it's about saying things are so sad. While the song may sound cheerful, the lyrics actually convey a sad story. And it talks about how, like all parents, when they have a child, they hope for their child to enjoy prosperity and happiness. However, the child's destiny is to struggle and work hard in the mountains, fields, and the sea.
I mean, yeah, because the periods when the haenyeo work became so popular was, hard like period.
Yes,
right?
it was.
So I can imagine like how they felt when they began they work. So I heard that she and other haenyeo colleagues have been practicing singing and dancing together while singing Seowoojesori for years, and it sounds like an amazing thing that they are doing.
Yes. As haenyeos gained international fame in 2018, the haenyeos from Gosan-ri village were invited to Canada. On October 9th, they participated in the Kitchener-Waterloo Oktoberfest in Canada, and they performed there. She, along with other haenyos, collaborated with bands from other countries and performed the Seowoojesori and leodosana. The response was overwhelming, and she said she could never forget that moment. In the past, being a haenyeo was kind of looked down upon, and it was a hard and poor job. But now the whole world recognizes how remarkable their work is, and in this changed world, she finds happiness in doing what she loves, which is the work of haenyeo.
Okay, I mean, it's now a time when the world, should pay attention to haenyeos. I mean, they do. I mean, the world do. But then it's incredible transformation brought about by haenyeos themselves.
Arirang. Arirang Radio.
So let's continue.
Yes, so she's lived her entire life in Gosan-ri village of Hangyeong-myeon area for 70 years. Her closest friend, who's like a sister to her, is also a haenyeo. They visit each other's house every day, share stories, and work together as haenyeo. Both she and her friend have children who are married now, and they now live alone, so they spend a lot of time together due to their commonalities. Also, as her husband passed away early, she raised her children alone by working hard as a haenyeo as well.
So I've often heard that Jeju haenyeos raise their children, send them to college, and do everything through the work they do, 물질. So, and I guess that it is all true, and that's why this work must be even more special to her.
Yes, it is.
And now I'm curious to know what are her hopes for future.
So she says she only has one wish, and that's to continue collecting items, sea products, in good health for a long, long time, just like now. This is because her source of rest and vitality is the sea, and it means so much to her.
Wow, I hope her wish comes true. And now finally, could you please share a place on Jeju Island that she recommended for our listeners?
Yes, let's hear it directly from her first.
Okay.
아무튼간에 우리 그 고산에 그 영 머물 수 있어그네 기분 좋게 놀다 가는 곳은 자군에밖에 없어. 자기도.
Yes, so she actually felt a bit disappointed that there aren't any famous tourist attractions in Gosan-ri village. However, Gosan-ri village's charm lies in its simplicity. The place she recommends on Jeju Island are Jaguneo-pogu Port and the uninhabited island called Chagido Island. So the Jaguneo-pogu Port is located at the western tip of Jeju and offers incredibly beautiful sunset views. Many photographers come here to capture the sunset. Chagido Island is the largest of the uninhabited islands that are part of the Jeju Island. So you can reach it by taking a boat from the Gosan-ri village's Jaguneo-pogu Port in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And Chagido Island has long been known to fishermen, and it was designated as a natural reserve where access was restricted. However, in the late 2011, after removing dead trees and installing safety measures and roads, it was open to the general public for the first time in 30 years. The island is home to 82 species of plants, including 13 types of trees like camellia, fir, and oak, as well as indigenous plants like haenyeo beans and seashore buckwheat. So the surrounding sea is also deep and rich in various fish species, making a place where Gosan-ri haenyeos go to collect sea products.
I mean, I knew about Cheolito Island's existence as an island, but I had no idea that such important resources were growing there.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I really enjoyed that story. I mean, especially because of Haenyeo. Haenyeo, I don't know, makes me emotional somehow. All right. So I see you next week.
Yes, you will see me next week.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yes.
The next Humans of Jeju. Well, I hope you enjoyed the segment. If you're curious to find out more about Jeju, we encourage you to go check out our website at arirangradio.com/Wonders of Jeju, or you can check out our Facebook page at Wonders of Jeju, as well as our Instagram account at WOJ_Arirang. We are going to take you on a journey to learn more about what's happening on this island.